thank you so much for coming. It's super busy coming to spring. Literally our spring has just, in this last week, we've had so many jobs booking in, so I think that's why our turnout isn't as big as it has been in the last couple of months. So good, everyone will be back soon. Warehouse is very full. You can't really see much, but you're welcome to go up and have a look. And Janessa's food's all out, but we've all found that already. Tonight we are lucky enough to have Melissa who's our insurance broker, joining us. So we're going to do a bit of a Q&A, as well as the ladies from Three Beach Textiles and Brooke from Anchor Coastal.
Thank you everyone for coming. It's so important to me tonight to introduce the girls from Three Beaches. My company was my own. It was built out of a passion, a love factor for quality products. What we do is we take these beautiful fabrics and we make them into things that just work, and we can have things that are individualised. So if you dream it, basically we can produce it.
My name's Sonia and this is Neve, and we are actually the creatives and owners behind the textile brand called Three Beaches. Our fabrics come at a very high standard, and they also carry the Sunbelt 5-year warranty.
That's really important for property stylists in particular, that you can leave this outside for 5 years and you're not going to be worried about it fading. And there's not many fabrics that you can do that with. We had an incident in Sydney recently, boat show. Poor people had an oil leak in their motor yacht just before the boat show, and we thought, oh god, that. But then they made a bedspread completely out of our fabric, and oil leaked all over it. And we thought, oh gosh, we're going to have to get it home and put it in the washing machine at least, and it just came off with baby wipes.
So that's oil, that's engine oil.
Yeah. So it's very easy to care for. So this is the fabric you want that's outside, in rooms with a lot of light, and I always say red wine drinkers, pet lovers, people who have children. Yeah. It's very friendly.
Next up we have Melissa. So Melissa's our insurance broker. You work up Sunshine Coast Insurance Brokers. Insurance is always a question that comes up a lot. It's a requested topic of stylists to have covered, so that's why we have you here today. Our structure of our business is a little bit different. We've got the warehouse, we've got the truck in-house that we use, logistics. Different home staging companies have different structures. So if someone is a sole trader who's hiring everything from a supplier, their insurance recommendations are a little bit different. If they're getting everything delivered to them, where would they start with their insurance?
So if they're hiring furniture, sometimes the hiring agreement includes insurance, and that's something you need to ask. Most times they won't include insurance unless you ask for it, and then you've got to source it yourself. That will be difficult when you don't own something, but if you have a liability policy, you have goods in care, custody and control sublimit, which is automatically provided.
Then when we move up, when we get a truck, we get commercial vehicle insurance. Then when we got the warehouse, we had to get other stuff to be able to get the warehouse, but plate glass insurance, yeah?
It depends on the lease. So most times you'll need liability, plate glass, and sometimes they ask you to insure for machinery breakdown, that's air conditioning equipment.
Is it okay to assume that a client's contents insurance will cover our goods in their home if it burns down or floods for whatever reason?
It's a grey area, and it's simply if they just lodge a claim with an insurance company and their sum insured happens to be enough for your goods and their goods, and they don't tell the insurer
that it's hired,
that it's, then it's possible that their claim will be paid in full up to their sum insured or up to the replacement value of everything. Most times you'll find that people underinsure because they want to keep their premiums down, because premiums have been on the rise every year, approximately 20% a year, they're going up. So people are reducing their sum insureds and underinsuring most times. So it would be best if I was running your business, I would make sure that I had my own insurance just so that I know that things are covered.
So our insurance package that you've got us on is the Allianz Small Business Package. One question that I know I've spoken to, actually Jake called and had a chat to you about, came up on the Facebook group, was particularly about theft versus burglary. Burglary versus theft, same thing, but forced entry. So we're covered for both, but a lot of stylists are not.
Yes, and the difference is using an insurance broker. So you'll find insurance brokers are part of a network of insurance brokers, and so we have our own policy wordings. And the policy wordings are designed to make our life easier, because when we say you are covered, we don't want you to not be covered. So those policy wordings that we have with Allianz are OST broker wordings. That's our network that we belong to as brokers. There are other networks, and that particular wording for the business special risks cover for things that you've got out there, there does not need to be forced entry if things go missing.
Yeah.
Because when you're sourcing insurance yourself, you're not going to read a policy wording.
No. It's
You're just-
like 20 pages long.
Yeah.
No. yeah. I was like, I didn't even open it. And we're honest. Jake may have. Yeah. The way that we've structured our insurance, we're insured for a sum insured here in the warehouse, and then we're insured for sum insured in a certain number of different locations at any one time, like $20,000 in a house or something like that. What about in between? So if, for example, my car's loaded up with accessories and I have a car accident, it's all gone. What about that?
So the business special risks insurance incorporates transit as well, your own transit. So if you stuffed the car full of stuff and you do have an accident and it ends up all over the road, it's covered. Where it wouldn't be insured is if you've used if you've used a professional carrier truck.
Like toll?
Yeah. And you didn't take out marine cargo insurance, it's called, or transit insurance. You'll find that it'll be brought up by the carrier. The carrier will say, do you want this insured? Or they offer insurance with, and so it's either with the carrier or with your insurance broker or package. If you've got 5 houses with $10,000 worth of stock in different places, not all 5 houses are going to burn down from the same event at the same time, unless there's an Armageddon. And that's going to be extremely rare. So you won't need $50,000, you'll just need 10, because it's quite likely you'll only claim for $10,000. If you are working in places that are concentrated like that and are vulnerable to flood, or if you're styling apartments in one building, then you will need to closely look and make sure that your business special risk sum insured is adequate, because it's quite likely that if there is a claim, it could be more than just the one unit or the one house that's affected. So that's something to look at.
Amazing. Thank you so much for coming. Awesome. So I just want to say a big thank you to the ladies from Red Rhubarb, as well as to the guys at Rayell who have also brought some prizes along. Thank you so much for coming. It's very appreciated. No, you're welcome. Thank you. Whew.